Funko Pop market is always changing, and some Funko Pops have lost quite a bit of value recently. Today we're going to talk about a few of them. Here we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have another market tracking video as we're going to be looking at some of the Funko Pops recently that have gone downward in price and have lost some or most of their value. Now, some of them are tied right to pop culture with some movies, TV shows, and even some other things that have come out recently, and some of them just got restocked at the wrong time. But today we put together a nice list of 10 different ones that have gone down in value, so let's kick off the list with the first pop. So the first pop that we're going to be talking about today was actually a limited piece that dropped in San Diego Comic-Con of 2020, and the one that I'm talking about is Black Lightning. Now, this was actually a pretty sought-after item as it was one of the very few pieces that actually had an LE number right on the sticker for that con. However, Black Lightning turned out not to be as popular later on down the road, specifically when Funko actually came out with a common version of the pop that looked eerily similar to the limited edition con exclusive. The con exclusive currently is going for $70, which might seem like a lot to some people. However, when it first hit the market right after San Diego Comic-Con, this one was trending at over $400. So it has seen quite a bit of loss over the last 2 years, and unfortunately doesn't look like it's going to be going up anytime soon as the Black Lightning TV show is actually no longer airing. The next two pops that we're actually going to be discussing came out on the very same day in April of 2020, and they both dropped on Funko's website, aka the Funko Shop. The first pop that came out was Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory, and this one was the first Dexter that Funko had ever came out with. So naturally, it sold out very quickly and very rapidly became a grail. At one point, Dexter here holding the wrench was trending for $145, which isn't surprising considering that Dexter's Laboratory was a very popular show over on the Cartoon Network, and I even remember watching a little bit of the show as a kid. However, right now it is currently only going for $45, which is a massive drop off of about $100 in value, and I blame it on the common pop that Funko actually released of Dexter not too long ago. Even though it is not the exact same mold, it is a very similar pop, and once collectors realized that they could get a Dexter in their collection without having to shell out over $100, this Funko Shop exclusive quickly lost its value. However, weirdly enough, if you do have the one with the special edition sticker or the pop culture sticker variant, that one does still trend for a little higher. Nonetheless, though, with multiple versions of Dexter on the market, the first edition Funko Shop version is not nearly as valuable. The next one that came out on the very same day that we are going to be talking about for today's list is actually another Cartoon Network favorite character with Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo was trending for well over $195. There was some massive sales for this pop when it first released. Once again, just like Dexter, it did sell out very quickly. However, it has also seen a similar dip in price as today you can pick up Johnny Bravo for only $65. And just like what they did to Dexter, they did come out with a very similar version of Johnny Bravo in common format. And once again, collectors, once they realized that they didn't have to shell out a lot of money for that Funko Shop exclusive, they gravitated towards the much cheaper common, which essentially, once again, brought down the value of Johnny Bravo. Both Dexter and Johnny Bravo, the Funko Shop exclusives, are both great pops. However, with other options on the market, I definitely don't see either of them returning to their Mega Grail status anytime soon. So the next pop that we're going to be talking about is actually a Marvel character who did get her first Disney Plus show this year, and it was her very first appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Although a lot of fans, including myself, were very excited for the show, the show turned out to be something a little bit different than I think most people expected. And I'm actually talking about Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel. Now, the show received a lot of mixed reviews by fans and viewers. However, somehow it did score a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm not sure if they saw the same show that I saw because it was very difficult to get through, at least for myself, and that's just my opinion, although I know other people out there did really enjoy the show. The Funko Pop, on the other hand, tells a very similar story in terms of mixed reviews and people not feeling 100% towards Miss Marvel. Now, this one was a very inexpensive pop, specifically from when it first dropped to 2016 all the way up to the beginning of 2022. If you had this one in your collection, you probably got it for a very good deal. This one did take off in price, and I actually predicted that it would go up a lot, and it definitely did not go up as nearly as much as I thought it would, as it hit a peak of $55. It quickly started coming downward in value shortly after the first few episodes aired on Disney Plus, and you can actually pick up Miss Marvel today for only $30. I have a feeling this one might actually go up in value just a little bit, even though now they've dropped more Miss Marvel pops. I think it could go up, and I say could very cautiously, if Kamala Khan does have a significant role in the Marvels movie next summer, and if that movie is well received by fans and MCU viewers. We'll see, but nonetheless, you can actually get this pop today for a very reasonable price. The next pop we're going to be talking about is yet another female Marvel character. However, I think you guys will just be as shocked as I am when I realize the current value of this pop. Now, I will preface by saying I have not seen the fourth installment of the Thor franchise, that being Thor: Love and Thunder. I do need to get around to seeing that movie at some point. Although, like Miss Marvel, that movie seemed to have a lot of mixed reviews. Some people have told me they loved it. Some people told me they hated it. Nonetheless, it did not score as well, according to Rotten Tomatoes, as Miss Marvel did. And we do have a pop to talk about that has basically crashed in value. And it's been a long time since I've seen a pop fall this hard in terms of its price. And I'm actually talking about the first appearance of Jane Foster's Thor, and this was the Secret Wars version of Thor, and this was a Marvel Collector Core exclusive way back in 2015. This was one that, once again, I predicted would go up in value, and my prediction actually came true, as this one skyrocketed very quickly once hype ramped up for the movie, and we all knew we were going to be seeing Natalie Portman dress up as the female Thor and actually wield Mjolnir. This one hit a peak of $100, but has since fallen sharply, as it's currently only going for $18. Now, once again, we do have Funko to thank for this harsh pop value crash, as there's been 6 new versions of Jane Foster's Thor that have come out in Funko Pop form. My favorite being the glow-in-the-dark pop-in-a-box exclusive. This one has a really dynamic mold, and it's an awesome just version of her, and I have to agree that this one is way cooler than the OG one. However, regardless of the price of this OG Jane Foster Thor pop, I'm definitely keeping it in my collection because I just think it's really, really cool. And guys, now that we are officially halfway through our list for today's video, if you happen to be enjoying this type of content and want to see more from us in the future, make sure to smash that subscribe button, because we are all about tracking the Funko Pop market, and I actually think it's really fascinating to see all the fluctuation amongst prices amongst all of these really cool collectibles. All right, let's get back to the list. So coming in at number 6 is yet another glow-in-the-dark pop. However, this is not a Marvel character, as we are now transitioning to a notorious Hot Topic exclusive. And if you guys know anything about Hot Topic, they are famous for restocking pops that make their way up to Grail status. And the one that I'm talking about right here is the Glow Chase Red Hades. And this is a very cool pop. It actually pairs very well with the Funko Soda Chase version of Hades, if I might add. This one actually hit a peak of $115 at one point. And honestly, I gotta say, kudos to that guy for making a $115 sale, because that sale is a huge outlier. So maybe it was a Funko employee or a Hot Topic store employee, who knows? But kudos to that guy, because they definitely made out like a bandit. This pop has restocked several times. It seems like every time Hot Topic sees the value of this pop going upward, they call up Funko and they go, bam, send us another box of these chases, because that is what seems to be happening every few months. This pop actually was starting to go up again at the beginning of 2022. It was creeping upward, $55, $60, but it has since come back down and leveled off once again thanks to its most recent restock, and it's currently trending for only $49, which I think is a very fair price for this really cool glow chase pop. The next pop that we're going to be talking about is a character from a line that everyone seems to have forgotten about, even though it was the talk of the town for a few years back in 2017, 2018, and the beginning of 2019, and that is the Loch Ness Monster from specifically the Myths line. Now, even though Funko has forgotten about the Myths line, there are quite a few pops that have still stayed up there in value. However, the common Funko Shop exclusive Loch Ness Monster, unfortunately, is not one of those pops. This one hit a peak of $140 at one point, but has since come down by about $90 and is currently trending for only $50. Now, I don't really know why, because the glow version of the Loch Ness Monster is still very high up there in price. It was a 1,500 piece limited con exclusive, and that pretty much, you know, locked out a lot of collectors from getting that one with it being so limited, leaving everyone's option to turn towards the regular Nessie pop. So I'm really confused as to why this pop has come down so much, but I guess a lot of people just aren't collecting the Myths line anyway. Such a shame though, because this is such a cute pop. Next up on our list is a pop that is actually one of my favorite releases out of all the ones that Funko has come out with here in 2022. This was actually a Freddy Funko exclusive from this year's Box of Fun, which came out for San Diego Comic-Con. And the one I'm talking about is the 4,000 piece limited edition Freddy Funko as Darth Maul. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, this one was the talk of the town until his glow-in-the-dark 2,000 piece twin brother made its reveal. This one was pretty sought after, and when it first hit the market, it was going for over $500, but has since fallen sharply, and I think that's because a lot of people wanted to put their money towards going after the glow-in-the-dark version. So this one is currently sitting at only $140. We were actually lucky enough to pull 2 of these. If you guys want to go check out that video for when we unboxed our boxes of fun, I will link that above, because that was arguably one of the best videos that we dropped this year. It was so exciting. There was so much, you know, build up and hype, and getting to open up 2 of those boxes in one video was just surreal. So definitely go check out that video if you haven't been subscribed along to our channel and happen to miss it. I'd highly recommend that you go check that out. Now, getting back to Freddy Funko as Darth Maul here, I actually do think this one will go up in value over the next few years, just because of how popular Star Wars is, and specifically how popular Darth Maul as a character is. This one is limited. It has leveled out for the time being, but I do think because it is a Freddy Funko and it does have a very important IP attached to it, I do see this one going up over the long run. So don't freak out if you happen to own this one and you are getting nervous because you paid more than $140. So the next pop that we're going to be talking about is actually an interesting one, because it is one of the NFT redeemable pops, and the one that I'm actually talking about is Captain Kirk in blacklight form from the Star Trek drop. Now, the Star Trek NFT drop actually went up for sale last December, which seems like ages ago, but the pops actually didn't start shipping out until April of this year. And this one seems to be falling by the second, so it could actually be cheaper by the time we finish this video. At the moment, it is currently trending for only $95. It was limited to 1,967 pieces. And once again, like most NFT redeemable pops, not all of these were redeemed. So there is less of them than that currently on the market. It did, however, hit a peak of $240 when they first initially started shipping them out. And if you guys have noticed recently here on the channel, every time we do one of these videos, I like to include an NFT redeemable pop, because if you guys have not noticed this trend, I seem to find that every single time there's NFT pops that hit the market, they start out very high and then they drop very harshly in a short period of time. So if you're somebody that missed out on the NFT drop and you wanted to wait until an NFT redeemable pop hits the market, just give it a few short months, because you'll probably pay half of what it starts to go for, and the Blacklight Captain Kirk is a prime example of that. So hopefully, if you are waiting to grab this pop, now is a perfect time, and I'm really happy if you did not pay that $240 initial price. Now we are coming down to the final pop on today's list, and I gotta say, unlike every single other pop that we talked about today, where we noticed trends or the movies and TV shows weren't as well received, or there was restocks, or there was common pops that came out that were ever so slightly different from the con or rare exclusive, I gotta say, this last pop that we're gonna discuss, I really don't understand why the value is falling, because it is a very popular character and it is a limited piece pop. And the one I'm actually talking about for today's video is the Diamond exclusive Remy, which dropped on the Funko Shop as well as Loungefly.com, because it did come with the beautiful Ratatouille Loungefly bag. Now this one was limited to 3,000 pieces. Remy is a very popular Disney character. Ratatouille is one of the most famous Disney movies as of recently over the last few years. They continue to drop Ratatouille-themed collectibles and merchandise, and it always seems to sell out. This bag and pop combo was no exception. We were actually very fortunate enough to get one of these bags and this specific pop in our collection. However, I'm just really shocked at the current value. At one point, it was going for as high as $180, and now it has since fallen to only $85. Now, unfortunately, Pop Price Guide does not specify some of these sales. I don't know if they included all the sales where it was the pop and the bag, or if they are just factoring all the sales where it is just the pop. With it being a limited edition exclusive of such a very popular Disney character, on top of the fact that Remy just doesn't have that many pops, I'm really baffled that this one is under $100, considering the fact that there are other 3,000 piece limited edition pops out there that go for way more. So this one is the one that I'm a little confused by, but hey, that's how the Funko market goes sometimes. Not everything makes perfect sense. There just could be not as many sales for this one, but nonetheless, I want to hear everybody's thoughts down in the comments section below. What did you guys think of today's list of all the pops that have fallen in value? Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? And I also want to reiterate that you should not freak out if any of the pops I talked about are ones that you currently own in your collection. Some of these, like I mentioned, I currently own in my collection, and some of them I even paid more than what they are currently going for. That is not a signal to go out and sell them and freak out. If you bought this at some point, if you bought any of the pops that I mentioned in today's video at some point for your collection, it's because you wanted them. You felt some sort of attachment to that character, to that movie, to that franchise, and you wanted it for your collection. Values fluctuate all the time, and some of the pops that we talked about today could very well end up being in, one of our Pops on the Rise videos in the next few months. That's just how it goes sometimes with pop culture, but I definitely want to reiterate, don't freak out if you saw anything on today's list that you currently own. Don't run out and sell it like wildfire. The pops usually go up back in value, especially if they're a limited piece or a con exclusive, which we had several of on today's list. So that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to smash that like button if you did enjoy the video and got some value out of it. I really appreciate everybody's support here on the channel. We are getting close to 12,000 subscribers, which is very exciting, and we do have some other big things planned in the very near future. So that's going to do it. Remember, guys, as always, don't stop shooting until you score, and we'll see you all very soon.